Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 4 review of the Soda Pop playlist. And we will be taking a look at IBC root beer. So you were looking at a clear glass 12-ounce bottle. For those overseas, that's 355 milliliters. Pretty straightforward. You have 3 stickers on it. You have the front. You have a small one up top here. And you have one on the back. Now, the nutritional information is that one serving is the entirety of one bottle. This comes in a 4-pack, somewhat like the Stewart's of the last review. I bought it in a local ShopRite for about $3.60 some cents plus whatever tax I have locally here. So nutrition information is, as I said, one serving is one bottle. It is 160 calories, 0 fat, 60 milligrams of sodium, which is 3% of your daily, 40 grams total carbs, which is 15% of your daily. All 40 of those grams are added sugars. Added sugar-wise, that's 79% of your daily. Protein is 0 and is not a significant source of any other nutrients. This is bottled under the authority of Dr. Pepper 7-Up Incorporated of Plano, Texas. The website is ibcrootbeer.com. Contents under pressure, recycling information, and barcode. So, when I was a kid in the 80s, I used to vacation some years in the High Peaks region of the Adirondacks. And there was a store outside of Saranac Lake called Norman's. And I think it was in Bloomingdale. I think that was the actual town. And we saw this in glass bottles. And you never saw it anywhere else. And it was always something, okay, if we're going to Lake Placid, Saranac Lake this year, we're going to Norman's and we're getting some ICB root beer. Now, it seems to be everywhere. And I think most likely the reason for that is that this is made by Dr. Pepper 7-Up. So it is using their supply chains and their distribution methods and whatnot. And that's the difference. Made under authority of. It doesn't say it explicitly, but I am guessing that means that there is an IBC root beer company, at least on paper, in a cubicle somewhere. And they license out the making of it. And right now in North America, Dr. Pepper 7-Up get the licensing. So that is why it seems to be everywhere anymore. Now the product is caffeine free and has a twist off cap, which looks like that. It is made with cane sugar. And I have actually had this recently, which is not the usual for products that don't have caffeine. It has a pretty strong root beer smell. Smells good. It's a little different than the Stewart's. It seems like there's something different about the smell, but I'm not exactly sure what. Let me get a glass here. Got a cooler next to my desk here. That's why I'm reaching down. All right, so I actually recently reviewed this on the report. So it's a clear glass bottle, so you had pretty much an idea what it was looking like anyway. I actually like stuff in clear glass. I like being able to see how dark the colors are. There are a lot of things that come like this in glass bottles that are in brown glass, and usually there's no surprises. But I can think of one company which I had high hopes for that I reviewed over on the report, and when I poured it into the glass, there was a reason why they were putting it in brown bottle glass, because it wasn't nearly as dark as I thought it would be, and yes, taste-wise, that did play out. But this is pretty par for the course here. Strong root beer smell. It's it's hard to say this about smell, but I'm getting the idea that maybe the Stewart's product was sweeter. But let's see. It's good. I mean, I decided I wasn't going to do this one right away. This and the Stewart's I usually held as a reserve thing in case I got jammed up on an order. But people were asking about this, and people always mention it, and they mentioned it over the report. So it's good. It's not. It's different from the Stewart's, but it's hard to say exactly how. I think the Stewart's is sweeter. Okay. And the Stewart's does have the foaming thing down more. This, as you can see, is not really foaming. That said, I find the carbonation in this more to my liking. The carbonation isn't as overpowering. It's not foaming up or anything. You don't get the head for it. You don't get the head. The Stewart's wanted to foam up. Some people, that's what they're looking for. I don't quite get it myself, but I don't comment on things I don't quite understand. So that's all fine and good. If that's what you're looking for, you might want to go with a Stewart's product. Because this, and I did notice it last time I reviewed it, doesn't really do that. I personally like the flavor of the IBC. I don't know if it's because I am more used to it. Mind you, I've probably had this only 3 times in the last 20 years. Maybe, I don't know, 4 times in the last 30. But twice I have had it in the last couple months. I think the root beer, the root beer taste of it is a little sharper, a little more poignant, and I don't think it's quite as sweet. If the sweetness is a little bit down from that Stewart's product and the carbonation is a little bit down as well, that's why I'm liking this more than the Stewart's. The Stewart was good, but I will say this. I did notice after I did the review and after I drank a bottle later on, because I had a 4-pack of it a day or 2 later, that I didn't feel quite right afterwards. And I actually put that down to sugar, because I basically don't have any sugar in my diet. So when you do that for a while with no sugar, no added sugar or candy or stuff like that, when you're pretty much sugar free. Now mind you, most foods have some amount of sugar in them, but when you're not loading yourself up with it, and then you do, you notice. You do notice. It's sort of in a way a little kid wouldn't notice, but everybody around him would if you pumped them full of sugar. But instead of being hyper and jittery and whatnot, because I take in a ridiculous amount of caffeine every day, so that's not going to happen, I sort of felt slightly nauseated. It's not a bad comment on Stewart's the root beer. It's just a comment on me not having any sugar in my diet. So when I do, this, after the review a while back on the report, I felt fine after. In fact, I finished that 4-pack too. So I'm thinking, and you know what? I wish I had the notes from the Stewart's thing because I match them up. I'm thinking that there's sugar levels different in this. And now I am done rambling about that. This is a quality product at a good price if you're getting it somewhere, a little bit under the $4 mark. All right? For a glass bottle, old-timey pop, really paying a hair under or up to $1 is a good deal. Okay? If you go and buy single bottles of something, let's say at a Cracker Barrel gift shop or something, they're usually somewhere between $1.40 to $1.70 per bottle. So this I got for like $3.69, and there was tax on top of that, but that's breaking down less than $1 per bottle before tax anyway. So that is a good deal. As I said again, the carbonation is more to my liking, which means less carbonation, and it's not super, super sweet. Like, whoa, that's really, So, if you see it, if you like root beer, I'd definitely give it a try. It's going to be easy enough to find. And that, friends, is that. I will be back a little later to do a review of a small plastic bottle, a spray bottle, and give you a hypothetical reason for using it. I do hope you are all well. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.